Well, my main reason, you look at the two different debts, the national debt. Do you know how much Trump procured during his 4 years?
Yeah, 3.7 trillion.
If you look at the national debt from 2016 to 2020,
right,
started at 19 point, right. I think it was upper 19s, almost 20.
Right.
And come 2020, or into 20, sorry, I just got finished with the sets.
You're all good, bro. Hit them fucking weights, man.
But, yeah, if you look at it, it's at, unless I get my information off of the White House.
Yeah, Trump spent
it showed 8 trillion.
Okay.
Not 3. From the year 2016
But here's why I said 3, because 5.3 trillion of that was COVID spending.
Was it 5.3?
Yep. So 3.7 was on him. 5.7 was COVID spending.
Okay, well, it was during, if you look at the national debt during the years that he was in office, Biden, his inauguration was January 2021.
Yep.
Indeed.
But if you look at
you look at Biden's, which was also during a COVID economy, we are at 7.5 trillion.
Hold on. The Biden economy, you already had the vaccine. You already had the COVID vaccine. You also had the second round of COVID vaccine when Biden took office. It was Trump put that out.
Okay, but this was also still. I understand. Yeah, the vaccines and stuff came out, but I also.
He already had the vaccine for it. Our economy was already in an uptick when Biden took office. Gas prices were down. Our economy, our GDP was actually on the rise when Biden took office. Like if you zoom in to the end of the Trump presidency and the beginning of the Biden presidency, like just look at his last 8 months and then look at Biden's first 8 months. You'll see our economy was doing this. Biden took office and then had a national shutdown. Our economy went like this. Like, so did Trump spend too much money? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I'll tell you what, that his spending.
So when did the vaccine? Because Trump left office beginning of 2021.
Yep.
And that came out.
The vaccine was nationally distributed in the beginning of 2020.
In the beginning of 22, because
within the first 4 months of 2020.
Because I remember whenever the national shutdown happened, there wasn't the vaccines
being
distributed.
That's not true because national shutdowns occurred under Biden and Trump.
Yeah, which was March 2020. It was March 2020.
And Trump already, I forget the name of the program, but Trump had already set up national distribution of the vaccine long before he left office.
Well, I don't recall anybody ever I remember it still being a huge waiting line.
Oh, that's what it was
especially before.
Hey, somebody in the comments, do me a favor. Look up when Operation Warp Speed was instituted.
So you're just saying whenever he started not exactly administered to the public.
Warp Speed was the national distribution of the vaccine.
I'd have to. If I left this and to go research and stuff.
December 2020 was Warp Speed. So yeah, it was the end of his. At the end of it, so he had the vaccine. I think 6 months into the last year, and then May 2020. There you go. May 2020 was Warp Speed. May 15th, 2020 was Warp Speed, which was the national distribution of the vaccine. So you're talking about May,
okay, I remember.
June,
so
July,
March,
August, September, October, November, December. So you're talking about within the first, was it January, February, March, April, May? So the 5th month of the year in 2020.
And that's whenever they started releasing it to the seniors.
No, that
was the healthcare workers.
No, that was the national distribution of the vaccine.
I remember whenever, I guess I just specifically, I remember March 14th, the 2020, or March 13th, 2020, whenever the whole national shutdown happened and vaccines weren't admitted. I mean, I'm not even vaccinated. I understand.
Hold on, wait. I got to point this out real quick. You keep saying national shutdown. There was no national shutdown under Trump. He issued no.
I'm talking now 2020, May 13th, 2020.
Hold on, wait.
I'm talking about Biden.
2020, Trump was in 2020. Trump was still president.
Okay, yeah. Well, it might not have been national.
Stop.
It might not have been national, but school got shut down May 13th.
Hold on, wait. Stop. My point is, under the Trump administration, Trump was in power until January 25th of 2021. It was president. So
yeah,
he had no national shutdowns. He never nationally mandated anything. He gave all power to the governors of each state. So
understand. Okay.
No. Hold on. So
I'm not doubting the validity of that.
Wait. If you had a shutdown, that was a decision of your governor. So wait, which state were you in?
Oklahoma.
So that was your governor decided to shut it down. So that's not on Trump.
I understand. I'm talking just specifically, as I recall, back in 2020, during that shutdown period. So what period of what shutdown are you talking about during Biden?
Oh my God. So he took office in January 25th of 2021.
Correct.
Within 3 months, he issued a national shutdown mandate for businesses.
And all states are required to follow this.
Yes,
and Oklahoma followed this.
He issued a national mandate.
Because that year, I wasn't even able to vote then, and I'm not even gonna. I'd like you to. I'm registered independent. There's a lot of topics that I don't even agree with Kamala, like the borders and a lot of different topics. And again, just what the last guy said, it's against just what I think our leaders should stand for and be.
I get it. But again, I get it. Here's the thing. If you have reasons to vote against Trump, that's perfectly fine. But you're not going to fuck with the real timeline. Under Trump's president, no. Because you came into this and said Trump shut shit. No, he fucking didn't. At no point did Trump shut down anything.
I understand. During his presidency, it's my mistake. It's how I spoke, but it wasn't even to point out what I was saying.
Hold on, wait. But that's a huge fucking difference, dude. That's a huge difference. Whether Trump shut your shit down or your governor shut your shit down, it's a huge difference.
Indeed, because it should have been done a lot sooner, like the other countries did, and we would have been open. We would have been open, just like Switzerland, Germany, France.
I'll tell you, as somebody who lives in Florida and has a much denser population than the state of Oklahoma. We have a much larger elderly population than the state of Oklahoma because we didn't shut down. California did. Now, when you compare our COVID infection and death rates, we are way better than California. We're way better than New York. We're way better than any state that matches up to
How many people are in your state and how many people are in California and New York?
It's not a matter of the people. It's a matter of the density of the people. And we have way more elderly people in Florida than California or New York do. And we crushed it. We shut down for 2 months, made sure that people were taken care of and separated from everyone else. And then we rocked on with our lives. There's a reason why the Florida economy has had a surplus for 3 years running, larger than any time in our history, because we didn't shut our shit down. We protected our seniors because 96% of COVID deaths were people over the age of 78.
Yeah, I mean, I fully understand that. I mean, I got COVID.
But again, so wait, we've established your shutdown in 2020 was because of your governor, not because of Trump.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, my fully red Republican state, yes.
So the vaccine came out in mid-2020, and Warp Speed was before Trump left office. The national distribution system for the vaccine Biden inherited that, and then 6 months later entered into a national mandate to shut down businesses.
Okay, and that's where I get my time on. I'm not doubting the
That's when
validity
the
of
economy
that.
took a massive shit and inflation jumped to 8.3%.
Okay, but you can't doubt that the fact that in 2020, the beginning, whenever it first started to happen, back in January of 2020, other countries. Yes, it was in China. Yeah, it started happening December, November.
No, it started happening. It started happening in August of 2019.
That was okay. That was patient zero. Was August 19.
No, the patient zero was in June. America started feeling the effects of it in August of 2019.
That's okay. I specifically remember other countries like France, Germany, Switzerland, all shutting down. Everybody wearing masks. Them only leaving grocery stores open and sectioning off like places like the toys and like the electronics, and only leaving places like that you can just go in, grab food. While Trump was in office.
They did.
And
yeah,
so
other countries
and they also got back to their normal life before a lot of the states did. I can't speak for Florida. I don't live in Florida.
They did. No, wait, you're absolutely right. They did, because Biden shut shit down after he became president.
Because our numbers were way higher than any of the other countries.
Bro,
okay, so they were inflated numbers. So they were inflated numbers.
Oh my God, at no point in COVID did the death rate exceed 0.02%.
Okay, if you're saying that's 0.02%. That 0.02% is still millions of.
That's the thing people love to fucking confuse about this, guys. As bad as you want to think COVID was, at no point did our death rate exceed 0.02%. Stop with trying to make this a big deal. Like, for fuck's sake, at no point did we achieve more than 0.2% of a death rate. If you want to say that's bad, that's fine. Say that's bad. I'm not going to argue with you. I think that's hundreds of thousands of people's lives. And that sucks. It really does. But also understand that more than 96% of the deaths were people who were 78 years or older. By the way, the average life expectancy in the U.S. is 76. So the average 96% of the people who died were 2 years older than the average life expectancy in the United States. Like, guys, we have to be honest about what happened during that time period. We have to stop pretending that young people were dying and kids were dying. That wasn't happening. Not to mention, more than 80% of the people who died had more than 4 comorbidities. Like, we have to be honest about what happened. It's okay. I don't think, like, COVID was an international issue. And it was horrible thing that happened to the world. But we can't exaggerate what happened. We have to be respective to respect the people who died. We have to be honest about what happened. What happened is a extremely tiny percentage of the population died. An extremely tiny percentage of the population was affected. Stop with everything else. What's up, Tommy?
Nah, I totally understand what you're saying. I don't know. That kid was just not making any sense back there, but.
Well, here's the thing. He was the CNN. I'm plugging my phone in. No. He was the CNN narrative. He was, if you believed everything CNN told you, this is how you would feel about it.
I think it was part of it, though, was that we didn't know what COVID was or what it was going to become, so we had to be cautious with it, which, no, we totally screwed ourselves, though, because, like, the government shutdowns did end up biting us in the ass, but
Yeah, and let's be real. We're being armchair quarterbacks about it.
right,
We're all like, oh, this we should have known better. No, we were in a worldwide fucking panic. I get it.
yeah. And we didn't know if it was going to we had to shut some stuff down so it wouldn't just keep getting worse and worse and worse. But
That's why I love the policy under Trump. He said, here's the thing. He said, governors, you know your state's best. If you feel you need to shut down, do this. If you don't, that's fine. But you decide what to do, because what he didn't want to do was a national mandate that forced a state like Wyoming, which has a population density of, I don't know, probably fucking one person for every 100 square miles, but to do the same as New York with their subways, right? He didn't subject everybody to the same thing. He said, do what's best for your state. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And that was a good way to handle it, because states handled it best for them.
right. Yeah, I agree with states. I agree with giving power back to the states. I think that's important. Going back to something you said earlier, though, didn't Donald Trump pumping COVID stimulus and COVID checks into the government, into the country, cause inflation too?
Did, absolutely. No. I was against the Trump stimulus checks. I mean, let's be real. I made enough money the prior year that I didn't get those checks, so I was a little bit bitter. But I was against the stimulus checks, and I think he did it out of political reasons, and I think he was wrong. And I made videos on prior accounts that got banned where I talked shit to him about that. I was like, yo, dude, this is stupid. You know it's stupid. What the fuck are you doing, handing out checks for money that doesn't exist? I talked shit to him about it. It was a bad decision. He made a political decision to hand out stimulus checks. And I talked mad shit on him for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because people did need some sort of stimulus at that time. I just think literally anybody was getting it, which Trump is usually against free handouts and welfare. And
you're talking about the PPP loans.
No, I'm talking about I literally graduated college that year, and my friends who, just because they didn't have jobs out of the college, were just getting $1,200 every 2 weeks.
I'm with you, and I was against it, bro. Let me tell you, because I'm an equal opportunity asshole. When he did that, bro, I made 10 videos being what the fuck? Stop cutting checks for money we don't have. I was talking mad shit on Trump that week. Because I was and also part of it was that I didn't get any checks. But I was talking mad shit. I was like, you're fucking stupid. You're doing this for political reasons. This is dumb. You're wasting fucking money. You're going to cause inflation. I dogged him for it. It was a horrible decision.
Yeah, I get it. Well,
but just so you know, I don't believe I think when you do something like that, that is only done for political reasons.
Yeah.
Free money's never free. Because you got to print it somewhere. It's got to affect everyone. And here's the thing. What I don't want is $1,200 at one time. So over the next 2 years, I can spend $3,000 more on groceries.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it was a short-term political decision that he was doing to try to get reelected. And it was stupid. And I dogged the shit out of him for it.
Yeah. What do you think would happen if Trump loses? Do you think the Republican Party can ever recover from him? Do you think they have to go a different direction and turn away from MAGA?
I think if Trump loses, let's just play the scenario.
Because he's wasted 12 years if he loses.
No, but so if Trump loses, I think what happens is the Republican Party gets really, really young. I think what you see in the next Republican primary is J.D. Vance versus Vivek Ramaswamy versus Tulsi Gabbard versus it's young people. I think the Republican Party would get super young, super millennial about the way they do things. I think but this is going to sound weird, but I think Trump winning is better for the country, but I think Trump losing is better for the Republican Party, because they will have to embrace the younger way of doing things because all their old people at that point will be expended. There's no old people left. Like if Trump doesn't win, there's no old people left. What you have in the next election is the Republican primary will be Vivek Ramaswamy, J.D. Vance, Byron Donalds, Matt Gaetz, and Tulsi Gabbard. That'll be the next Republican primary. It'll be young as shit. It'll be all millennials. And they will be the young party. They will be the party of youth. And so I think the Republican Party is worse off if Trump wins because J.D. Vance, I don't think it's a great candidate. And I think I'll have to face off with Vivek and Byron. But I think if they lose, the Republican Party revolutionizes the way they do things.
Yeah, because it feels like they were like about to do that until Trump came in and just kind of like took it by storm, and then they were forced to go like the MAGA route.
Now, I don't think there's any possible way Trump loses, but I think it would be better for the Republican Party in the future. But also I think it would be very bad for the country. Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, Kamala wins. We're communists. We're so no. Like we've had bad presidents. We've survived the bad presidents. So I think Trump is better for the country. But I think it'll give the Republican Party a reason to not change, and that pisses me off.
I honestly think whoever wins the debate is going to win the election, and honestly, that's how it should be.
Trump's going to beat the shit out of her, dude. Trump is going to fucking own her.
I don't know, man.
Bro, I'll put it this way. I would put $500 on the fact that Trump is going to beat Kamala worse than he beat Biden.
No, there's no way. Biden was terrible, man.
Have you ever seen Kamala Harris debate?
Yeah, she debated Pence.
So she debated twice.
Yeah.
And she got fucking owned both times.
I just don't think, like, literally all you have to do when you step up to a debate with Trump is just be like, you caused an insurrection. Like, you tried to cause a coup.
Again, that card doesn't play, though, because you're there to bring what you're going to bring to the country. You're not there.
Oh yeah, she should. She needs to just come out, say that he's like a risk to democracy, which like, I don't truly think he is. But, like,
here's the thing.
I don't think he's going to try to be a dictator, but I do think
I'll give you an easy script. So say she did do that, right? So say I'm Trump's policy advisor. She comes out and she says, "You caused an insurrection. You know, you tried to take over the country. Fuck you," right? Say that's her opening shit, right? Here's what he immediately comes back with. Then fucking charge me with insurrection. Oh, wait, you didn't. Okay, cool. Now, let's talk about the fact that you want price controls, that you want to control the way the economy works in America. That's a communist socialist thing. So why do you want to do that while you're telling me I'm trying to fuck up the country? That's fine, then charge me with insurrection. Because here's the thing, like, if you don't think they're prepared for that,
of course they are. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing as to why I would lean Kamala is because I, like, you know, basic, like, economics and, like, politics stuff aside.
Wait.
I'm just saying, like, just
You're
like,
like saying, hey, like, economics aside, which is the number one thing you get out of a president.
Yeah. I mean,
that's like saying, like, the reason I'd sleep with her, dick aside, right? Like, you're gonna throw in the biggest thing out of the way.
Is just like the image of America. Like, I mean, some people are going to say like Trump is such a like strong image of America. I think people. I mean, there's a reason.
That's true.
I would say that Russia is probably like the biggest threat to America. Okay. I mean, you could say China.
Hold on, wait. You say Russia's the biggest threat, so why wouldn't you want to re-elect the person who sanctioned them more than anyone in American history?
I mean, why does Vladimir Putin want Trump to be president?
Vladimir Putin doesn't want Trump to be president. That's the thing is he said he recognizes, like, you have to understand, under the Trump administration, Russia was sanctioned more than, the American government sanctioned Russia more than any time in our nation's history. You know how many times they've been sanctioned under the Biden administration? Twice. You know how many times they were sanctioned under Trump? 37 times. They cost Russia under the Trump administration, they cost them somewhere in the neighborhood of $12.1 to $17.5 billion. Under the Biden administration, they cost them somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 300 million. So if you want to talk about who fucks Russia over harder, Trump fucked Russia over to the tune of billions.
But why does Trump always like, oh, I have the best relationship with Russia?
Because he does.
Me.
Because that's the thing. When you're the biggest swinging dick, you've got relationships. Because Trump has told Russia, if you fuck around, you will find out. Like Trump, like there's a reason why Putin didn't invade the Donbass region under Trump, because he knew Trump would have responded. However, when Biden became president, he was like, that bitch ain't going to do shit. I'm going to invade Ukraine. Because what do you think would have happened? Russia invades Ukraine under Trump. What do you think Trump's response is?
Exactly what would have happened. Like, you can't cause a one-on-one U.S. versus Russia war that's really starting like World War III.
Exactly, because Trump's laid out what he would have done.
He used Ukraine as a proxy.
No, but Trump stated immediately what he would have done. He said, had they invaded while I was president, I would have stationed the United States military on the edge of Ukrainian state lines and said, if you push forward, you are waging war against the United States military and NATO. And I'll tell you what, Putin would have backed the fuck off so quick.
I mean, that's just putting ourselves like on the actual brink of war. I mean, we're teetering a line here where we're like playing the Ukraine.
But you have to.
Game.
But here's the thing. Russia knows it can't win a war with the U.S. It can't. There's no nation on earth that can.
They can't, no, but they are fucking crazy and like think that they are the most powerful.
No, but they're not crazy. I'm so tired of this stupid narrative about Russia. They're not fucking crazy.
I mean, I know they're not crazy.
No, wait, stop. People say this all the time. They're like, Russia's crazy. They're not. They're extremely practical. Putin is not fucking stupid. Putin is a very, very smart man. He's managed to rule one of the largest nations on earth for decades without any challenge. He is smart as fuck. He recognizes that it's better to have not an ally in the U.S., but not an enemy. He's not going to pick a fight with the U.S. He wants to rule Putin doesn't want to rule the world. He wants to rule his nation in peace. And he knows that under Biden, he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. But under Trump, he knows that Trump will fuck his whole world up and draw him into a war if he tries. So he won't do that. Same thing with North Korea. North Korea under Trump started talking shit. They said, we're going to launch missiles, we're going to do this. And Trump said, if you test missiles, we will fuck you up. And what happened? 6 months later, Kim Jong-un invited him to be the first president ever to walk on North Korean soil. He sent back 1,200 of our lost soldiers' bodies. The first time we recovered them in our nation's history, because he recognized that Trump was like, look, I don't want to be your ally, but you certainly don't want to be our fucking enemy.
I would disagree that, Putin just wants to rule his country and not bother anybody. Like he's literally invading other countries.
Yes.
He wants to bring the Soviet. He wants to
No, here's the thing. What he wants is a cushion against his nation, because you have to understand, NATO was founded under the principle of fighting communism and fighting the Soviet Union. Right? Now the agreement of NATO was that they would not creep towards Russia, but we have. NATO has creeped towards Russia over and over and over again. Now, let's say we're America, and say there was a treaty organization that was founded to fight America, and they had South America. And then over the last 50 years, they took Guatemala, Panama, Mexico. Would we just go, oh yeah, keep creeping towards us, we're not going to do shit? Like, we've crept towards Russia.
I mean, that's what the Cuban Missile Crisis was.
Exactly. It was a single nation that wanted to pair with Russia, and we threatened World War over. But people are like, no, Russia should just sit back and let NATO creep to their fucking border. Of course he had a problem with it. He was like, I'm tired of watching NATO get closer and closer to me when you agreed you weren't going to do that.
I mean,
This is exactly what they did.
If Putin doesn't have any sinister motives, why doesn't he just ally himself with? Why doesn't he just make better relations with NATO? I know he's not going to join NATO, but
He can't. Oh my God. Putin make relations with NATO? Have you ever read the NATO mandate?
I know what NATO was created to do.
No. Have you ever read the NATO mandate?
No.
The NATO mandate.
I've never read the NATO mandate.
It's to prevent the expansion of Russia. It's literally, NATO was founded to not let Russia do anything.
The Soviet Union, which is no longer.
No, the Soviet Union had expired at the foundation of NATO. It was founded to stop anything from Russia. So, like, literally, it would be like Christians making a treaty with Satanists. Like, literally, a foundation founded to be the antithesis of you. And you're like, why doesn't Russia make peace with them? I don't know. Maybe if somebody called me a white boy piece of shit, maybe I don't want to be friends. Maybe I don't want to be friends. Like, why don't the black people make friends with the KKK?
Well, why does I know? But like,
why don't like what you're saying is why don't black people make friends with the Ku Klux Klan? Why don't Jews make friends with Yazidis?
No, it's not.
Because there are organizations founded that are their antithesis.
Why doesn't Russia, if Putin is just like this super smart, great guy who like, you know.
I didn't, hold on, wait, hold on.
You said that. You were like, he's super smart.
No, don't twist what I said. What I said was, I think Putin is a piece of shit, but he's smart. I didn't say he was a super smart, great guy. Don't fucking twist my words. Putin is a piece of shit dictator who happens to be smart.
Okay, got it. But why is he like, you know, sending young Russian men into war, getting killed, to take back like half a country?
Because half that country speaks Russian and actually wants to be ruled by Russia.
I mean, that's what like Russian propaganda says.
No, it's not what Russian propaganda say. It's for the last 7 years, that entire region has tried to annex to Russia, and Ukraine has stopped them. And the worst part is Ukraine could be part of NATO. You know why Ukraine's not part of NATO?
Why?
Because NATO has determined them to be too corrupt of a government to be part of NATO. Like, here's the thing. When Russia invaded Ukraine, here's what happened. A really big corrupt nation invaded a really small corrupt nation. Ukraine is full of corrupt pieces of shit. They are not an ally. They are not somebody we need to protect. They're not like the good guys. They're just the not Russian corrupt fuckers.
Okay.
You know what happens if Russia takes Ukraine?
What?
Absolutely fucking nothing.
I mean, it's just a win on the Russian side, which is kind of a stain on.
Who cares? It's a corrupt little fucking nation. Who gives a shit?
It's pretty big.
It's not. We don't import shit from Ukraine. They're not a strategic ally. They don't do shit. All it is Russia taking a country that 30% of them want to be part of Russia. And here's the thing. Russia didn't want to take all of Ukraine. They wanted the Donbass region, which is Russian speakers, Russian heritage, and want to be part of Russia, but Ukraine doesn't want to let them go.
All right, well, now that they've invaded Ukraine and this war has been going on for 2 years, like, what can Trump actually do to actually end this war?
Easy. He'll walk in and actually make them negotiate a treaty that will probably give the Donbass region to Russia.
I mean, how do you know he can just walk in and do that? Like,
it's not something tell Ukraine. No, here's how he does it. I'll give you the easy thing. He walks in and he says, Ukraine, the United States represents 92% of your military strength because we're giving you weapons. If you do not agree to this treaty with Russia where they take the Donbass region and you redraw your country's lines, we will withdraw all of our military support.
I mean, we literally like did the exact same thing in Afghanistan, and all the Republicans were like, "Oh, we just fled. We just like tucked our tails and ran." Like, that would be the same exact thing. We would
actually not, because there was no invading force in Afghanistan. So I don't know how the fuck. Like, I was in Afghanistan, so really weird comparison, but it makes no fucking sense.
I'm just saying, like, if we just say, yeah, we're gonna pull all the support for you, like we're leaving, we're not helping you, and they're like,
No,
okay, we need
that's
to
not what I'm saying. Again, you're again trying to change what I said. We would tell Ukraine that
we
if
would threaten them with that.
you do not agree to this treaty, we are done supporting you. So either you lose the Donbass region, or you wage war against Russia without